My curiosity is with Dark Horse taking over Angel, which, yay raw, I'm very excited. That is an awesome thing. Is George's, and maybe you guys have already talked about, are you going to continue on with Angel, and are you going to be doing Buffy season 9?
Do you plan on sleeping anytime soon?
Well, why don't you just give your pat answer that's been scaring me to death?
I would love to be involved.
I would love to be involved in some way.
Scott and I are talking, and yeah, if everything can work out, I would love to come back, and I will be back, and I would probably, it's one of those things you want to go with the girl you came with, and I would probably do a Buffy book than more of an Angel book.
Yeah, and I mean, it's not feasible that he would do more than a book. Season 9 will be more complex than season 8 in some ways. It'll be a shorter duration, but more books at a time. And one of the things we were talking about today is making sure that he's on a schedule that's not going to break his neck. And part of that is certainly not doing more than one book in a month. But yeah. So there will be other artists involved in order to do the volume of work that we're talking about. Not just fill-in artists, but people taking on chunks of the series.
Do you guys already have somebody picked out for Angel?
Pretty much.
When are we going to see the first Angel comic from you guys?
Well, no comics until... Oh, wait, no, we're not talking about this stuff. We're focusing on Season 8 so as not to steal our thunder or IDW's. That's right. Way in the back.
Young lady, yes.
I just wanted to know if either one of you could comment on Willow and Oz in Season 8.
I love that.
Comment in what way?
Just kind of like what was going on with them when they finally see each other again. Just whatever whatever thoughts you may have on how their interaction went with each other during season 8. What was going on both of their lives, and how long it's been since they've seen each other. Whatever comes to mind.
Well, the distinct impression I had when Jane gave us the proper outline for those issues was like I suggested to Joss, let's make this a 10-issue arc, and he's just like, oh my god, you're crazy, because that would have just added 5 issues to the whole series. But part of it was I really wanted to see those two characters deal with each other. But I love what Jane did with them in terms of Willow being in a less stable place in her life than Oz was, and being kind of jealous, but being so mature about her jealousy. That it was a complex thing to see that was handled in just a handful of panels over a couple of issues, but that was an interesting thing to see. She felt that Oz had something that she was never going to have, could never have, and she didn't want to be petty and bad about it toward him, but she kind of couldn't help it a little bit. I thought that was all real interesting, nuanced stuff that Jane brought to it.
Yeah, when I was actually doing those scenes, which of course took the most time because it's something where you really want to get the emotion right, and you want to make sure that it comes across. I was really feeling that this was more cathartic on both their parts. I mean, obviously, I feel Oz will always love Willow, and in turn, Willow will always love Oz, and whatever their her sexual preference, he will always be her first, and that nothing's ever going to change that. And I'm sure a lot of us sitting here have that first love or that first thing or whatever that was that we now have grown and we're past it, but you never forget, and there's always that sense of glee within you, and it was never in the script, but what I tried to do visually was to personify what that emotion was with the two of them, more with Oz's child, because you'll notice the scenes they have, Oz's kid is actually there the whole time, and he's the bubbly one, the nice one, the happy one, while they're having a conversation. And I thought it was interesting. I don't know if Jane did this intentionally, but there's sort of a visually emotional shift where, yes, she's upset and they have that conversation. I can never have what you have, and you've got this great life, and you're married, and you have a kid, and you've got everything, and Oz is saying, well, you can have that too, you're not excluded, and all that. You'll notice all the positiveness at that point, which was coming from Oz, he's holding the baby. As it starts to shift, he gives the baby over to Willow, and that's where I thought, that's where she finds that peace. Oh, you're going to give me the baby, and that the baby then personified this calmness that Oz always had, and now he was in effect giving it to Willow, and you notice that when she then goes to Buffy, she starts to be very happy and, you know, even joking with the kid. And an interesting note, at some point, Willow tries to give Buffy the baby, which I thought would carry over to that, you know, very calmness. And Buffy says, no, I don't want to hold the baby, which just in my mind felt, okay, Buffy wants to keep that pain, that whatever she's feeling. So I don't know if that came across, but as I read the script, that's what I was thinking, and I used the baby as sort of a personifier of this calmness that Oz was definitely feeling, and he was trying to give over to Willow. In the back, blonde, yes.
Hi. So I always read all the editor's notes and everything after every issue, and there seemed like there are a lot of dissenters.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to know, like, if you were surprised, you know, to get some of the negative feedback and how you handle that and all that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I'm somewhat surprised. I'm not surprised that there's dissent. I'm surprised by like the vitriol that we get from some people, the passion. I saw somebody tweeted the other day, like, Scott Alley, I'll cut you. And I was like, you might be being funny because that's kind of funny, but you might not be because it's kind of what I've come to expect from this gang. But it's like, that's cool, okay.
I'm not going to kill you. I'm just going to cut you.
I'm a bad parent, I've heard from Buffy fans. Yeah, it's like, it's good stuff. It's good stuff. But, so yeah, a little surprising. But I also, you know, like other people think I'm nuts for running that stuff in the letter column because the letter call should just be like the cheerleader house. And it's, you know, it's funny. And when they're right, and you learn from it. And when they're insane, it's all part of the experience.
Well, I think a good letters column, though, does give a balance. You know, the positive and the negative. Because, yeah, if you're sitting there going, oh my God, this is the best thing since cheese, you read all these other things and go, well, I never thought of it that way. Wow, they may have I don't agree with them, but they have a point.
Well, we love you.
Oh. Nobody here wants to cut Scott, are you sure?
Buffy fans are
We don't know, do you?
He might. If any of y'all earned it, it's girl in the pink shirt. Yeah.
I was wondering if you could talk to us a little bit about the glow. I'm a little confused, and I know a lot of people are, exactly how much influence it has over the behavior. Will we learn more about that later if you can't talk about it now? Because it seems like some out of character behavior.
Right. Okay. Well, yeah. One of the things I've heard, I did an interview with Slay Alive the other day, and they were asking about the glow. I think Emmy was doing the questions, and I think basically, really the question is, are they completely possessed and just not acting in their own, you know, under their own will? And the answer to that is no. They're definitely caught up in a thing. Have you read 36?
Oh yeah.
Okay. And there's a bit in 37 where, is there a bit in 37 where she talks about like, oh, I'm come down. They've definitely been swept up in a big thing. They were definitely influenced by a complicated, you know, essence or force or whatever. That you are going to learn more about that force itself in the next couple of issues. But they're, you know, they're not in control of their actions. They are influenced by something, but this is them. You know. Probably not, but I'm not sure I totally understand the question. But they are influenced by this thing, but they're not out of control of their actions. You know, and where the line is exactly, like, are they 72% responsible for what they're doing? Like,